Hi guys, welcome back. If you want to see how I did this look, continue to watch. And once again, I'm so sorry. I've been super busy with my mom's surgery, but I'm back. Keep watching. Now that we have our bare face and we look like we're 3, let's prime this bad boy. I'm using MAC Radiance Yellow, and I'm going to put this all over my face and make sure I don't miss any spots. It's going to act as a veil between all of our makeup and all the products we put on and our skin. Keeps it looking fresh and protects our lovely face. Now I'm taking MAC Pro Longwear Foundation, the original, in the color NC40. It's a little light, but it's okay, we'll warm it up, and the lighting of my camera and my ring light just makes it look worse than it actually does. I'm using my Real Technique face brush and blending this bad boy out. Now we're covering up these dark circles that I seem to have a lot of lately. I'm using MAC NC35 Studio Finish Concealer, and I'm patting that under my eye with a concealer brush to make sure I cover any and all dark circles and dark spots. I'm using a much thicker concealer this time because my dark circles have been very bad, but you need to make sure that you set this concealer. Now I'm blending it out with my beauty blender, and I'm being very careful to make sure I don't swipe or pull any of the product. I'm just pushing and pushing it until I get the desired coverage and look that I wanted. Now we're going to move on to these bushy eyebrows that I'm so desperately trying to grow out. I'm just going to brush them upward and fill them in with MAC Cosmetics Brun eyeshadow. It's a favorite of all of us MAC girls. We know the magic of this eyeshadow. And I'm just gently pulling it into my brows, pushing it up, and creating little hairs where I am still desperately trying to grow them back in. Now I'm contouring my face with an NW50 MAC Cosmetics foundation. I can't remember for the life of me which one it is, but just know if you ever get a foundation that's too dark, you can always turn it into a contour. I'm making sure that I contour the sides of my face and the sides and the very little top of my forehead to give my face a much more structured and slender look. I'm also doing my jawline to help my face look a little more chiseled out, and the sides of my nose. I'm even going to take it up into my eyebrow, the very bottom of my eyebrow bone, to give my eyes a much more dense look as well. Now that I look absolutely crazy, we'll put the highlight in. I'm taking MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC25 and putting that in all the places that I want to stand out. So underneath my eyes, the middle between where I put my contours on my jaw, and the middle of my forehead, the tip of my lip, and my chin. Now that we look crazy, let's blend this out. I'm going to start with my highlight and blend that into my contour because I can always go back with the contour and add more. It's much harder to add more highlight. We're just going to use the push method that I always use when blending out anything on my face, and push and push and push until I get the desired coverage that I wanted. Now I'm going to finish out my contour. I'm going to take this 159 MAC brush and blend it out using circular motions and patting and pulling the contour into the highlight that I just blended out as well. And don't worry, if you get too much off that you didn't want, you can always go back and add more. Make sure when you're blending out the jaw contour that you're very careful to blend it down into your neck as well. Now we're going to bake our concealer on. I told you I use a very heavy concealer, therefore it has to be set. I'm just taking my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and placing it in heavy amounts on the places that I want to set. And under the eyes is especially important. You want to wait to dust it off because that's what gives that nice halo effect in pictures. Now I'm going to highlight, my favorite thing to do. We're using the MAC Oh Darling limited edition highlighter and the permanent highlighter in Gold Deposit. Now we're just buffing in some MAC Saddle eyeshadow, which I pretty much use in every single look that I've ever created. And then I'm going to go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Fudge eyeshadow, which is a deep, rich, dark brown. And I'm going to use a lot more product this time, and I'm going to place it a little heavier on the very outside of my eye. This is going to give my eye more of an extended look and much more of an almond shape. I'm using this before the black because it's going to take away some of the harshness of the black color and make it so much easier to blend out. I'm taking Nior, probably the blackest shadow I've ever seen in any company, with a pencil brush, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with the brown, but I'm just going to do it with black instead. Black shadows can be very tricky to use. I mean, they can come out looking like a black eye. So the one tip that I've always given people is that you should always use a brown first if you're still trying to learn, and you can get it pretty black even if you use a brown. So if your reason for not doing the brown first is that you think it's not going to look black, I promise you that is not the case. In this situation, I just wanted it to look more gradient, so you couldn't tell where the black and the brown started. Now I'm going to take an unknown pigment from MAC Pro, I'm so sorry, I don't know which one. I'm going to wet it with Fix Plus and pat it on my eye and kind of push it in there instead of wiping, which will create fallout. Now under my eye, I'm going to take Fudge eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills as well, and I'm going to put it not too heavy underneath my lash line. Now we're doing the eyeliner. I'm using Inglot eyeliner in number 77, which is black, and I'm just doing my usual old bit, and I'm actually looking for a way to change up my eyeliner, so if any of you have any tips or tricks, let me know in the comments below. I am always looking for new ways to improve and change my makeup look. Now I'm placing on my La Amore Mink lashes, and then I'm going to move on to my lips. I'm using Milani Cosmetics lip gloss in Bare Secret. I wanted to keep the focus on my eyes and the blush and the highlight, so the lips are very sheer. This color will be a lot deeper on someone else than it will be on me, but I thought it was a nice compliment to the look. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or requests, please let me know down in the comments below, and as well on my Instagram, which is @JasmineGale_. I'll have that up on the screen right now. I'm most active on that account, so if you guys want to talk, get advice, tips, or share information, that's the place to do it. Please subscribe, give this a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.